Hello everybody, my name is Blancmark and welcome back to another episode of Blanc File where I just sit around with you guys and talk about whatever comes to mind. And this time, it's going to be about Smite again. So welcome to Why I Quit Smite, Part 2. Now, I have a history with Smite where I enjoyed it, but there was some very frustrating things that happened and that are still in the game that or like the game in the company itself that made me quit the first time. But then I started playing it again after a couple years. I missed the entirety of season. Was it 8 and 9, I believe. I think I quit midway season 7, if I'm correct. Anyway, I quit during the like right after the clean the Banshee Queen was released. So I missed a bunch of character releases, and then I started playing again like late 2023 when it was like the very last part of season 10, I believe, when Baki Kujira was released. And we entered season 11 and Newt was released. And at that point, it became quite clear that they were gearing up for and starting development on Smite 2. First of all, we thought it was, is this a sequel? No, it's just an upgrade from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 5. It's like, okay, fair enough, right? Um, but the way they've been handling it so far is pretty atrocious. Well, first of all, I'm going to talk a bit about Smite 1, the original Smite, see what they changed there. Well, what they changed there is that they they're adding a whole bunch of so-called cross gen skins, which basically means that you will, if you buy that in Smite 1, you will also have that skin in Smite 2. They had this whole like pass that you could, if you do stuff relating to every season, if you, even if you didn't play during that season, I mean you'll get season playtime, which is good. But since I didn't like play like the entirety of season 9, for example, I did not have any playtime in season 9, so I had to you have to obtain certain skins, usually skins that are limited, so not always available, only during like special events or something, like the um, the end of the year, for example, the Odyssey. Then they're all like available. But other than that, like they're not available, and they're also usually pretty expensive. Especially for non-cross-gen skins, they're pretty expensive. We're talking about 2,000 gems, which is about $20 for like one skin. Okay, they have all kinds of transformations and other appearances and shit, but it's still kind of And then a couple of other of those limited skins that are pretty hard to get. And if you get those, then you get certain points towards, you get like certain points towards your thing. But luckily, I played a lot already. And the rest was like god mastery, like the gods that were released in that season. They would add to your point total, and if you have enough point total, which you can even get without any playtime, then you'll like unlock like that section, and that will unlock like a part of the legacy like pass basically, and that will unlock like recolors of skins that are then cross-gen, that are available in, actually I think they're only available in Smite 2 at that point. Like, okay, fine, whatever. And apparently for every gem that you've bought, maybe earned, I don't know, but definitely bought, you would get legacy gems in Smite 2. So if you've bought a lot in Smite 1, you get a lot. You get a percentage of that in Smite 2, and then you can buy all the skins. Well, that's actually not true, but I'll get back to that later. So what have they been doing is they've been doing every patch, aside from a bit of bug fixing and all that. Every patch they've just been releasing skins. Of course, a lot of them are cross-gen now, so okay, fine, whatever. But it's not really worth the value if you already have. If you're not planning on playing Smite 2, it's not really worth the value unless you really want to play Smite 1 with those skins, I guess. But for me, I already have a bunch of skins on my characters that I like, and a lot of them are not cross-gen. So yeah, you know. Um, Outside of that, they've made a quote unquote revert to a certain like time to kill TTK thing. Apparently, the season that I didn't play, season 9, um, they changed something in the middle of season 9 somewhere that made everybody more durable and made the gameplay last a bit longer, the battles last a bit longer. And I've been playing that since I returned, like in the end of season 10, in the start of season 11, and I really enjoyed that. Um, I really enjoyed the fact that I could like last longer. As a tank, I was more durable, and even as non-tanks, I could just jump in and do stuff, and it just felt good. It felt good. The matches were better, the better quality. Matchmaking seemed to be better because of it, and so everything just came together. Still, I had shit matches and shit teams every now and then, but it felt more normal. But they were like, "Oh, most of the players hate it, so we're gonna revert it back." So now the time to kill is definitely noticeable. It's definitely shorter. You're definitely a lot more squishy, even as a tank or an ADC or a hunter or whatever you want to call it. You are a lot more squishy. The things that you would be able to survive prior to that revert, you can't survive anymore. Which means that you'll basically, if you get hit like a few times, you're basically already like half health, if not a quarter, if not almost dead, which is insane, right? So that's how it used to be, and with that, I see the rise of a lot of the old problems that I had with Smite, namely the incredible amount of feeders on my team, the atrocious amount of feeding and trolling, the just everything is shit again. I can't win a single match unless I happen to have a good team, which never happens. So the game has gotten a lot more unforgiving, and as a result, a lot of more people start sucking at the game, and it's basically back where it was when I quit the first time. A lot of shit teams, a lot of feeding, and a lot of squishiness. And unbeknownst to me, that patch that they did that upped the TTK, it took longer to get killed and kill people, or gods, I should say. That was the best change that they made, because it made Smite playable. But they reverted it, so now it's back to shit again. Add to the fact that they are mostly working on Smite 2, and they're not caring as much about Smite 1. They're throwing in new items and stuff and fucking up the balance and all that because they don't really care anymore. They just want us people to spend as much gems as they can in Smite 1 before the release of Smite 2. So, because they're also not releasing any new gods in Smite 1. They've absolutely 100% refused to add more gods. We would have gotten it's like the end of August now in 2024 when this year 11 Smite 2 gearing up for Smite 2 season. We got nuked at the start of the year. That's it. We're not getting a new god. I mean, we're getting a new god, couple actually, but those are only in Smite 2. That kind of already tells me that they're not planning on continuing Smite 1. We're getting Mordred from the King Arthur saga. We're getting, what was it again? Hecate from the Greek pantheon. And we're getting Aladdin, apparently. Yeah, Aladdin with the genie and everything. And we're getting Bari, apparently, Korean goddess. I mean, cool, but it's like we're only getting those in Smite 2. They're not working on gods for Smite 1 anymore. And I mean, that's all well and good, but they've been holding like closed alpha like weekends or something, and in order to participate, you have to buy a founder's pack, which can range anywhere from I think like 20-30 bucks to over 100. That you get some like extra stuff like a tier 5 skid for like Zeus or something, and like, okay. So I didn't do that because I don't care about closed alphas and stuff, and I just wanted to. I just want to wait until stuff is more finished, basically. So I don't really. I haven't played. I haven't watched it. I haven't played, but I have read a lot of things about it, and a lot of people are saying if people have issues with something, if it's just one or two people, that's one thing. But then there's probably a lot of people who have the same issue, but they don't say anything. But I'm noticing that a lot of people are saying the same thing about the issues they have with this game. Like it looks a little bit better because it's Unreal Engine 5, and we understand it. But there are some choices that the team made, or the higher ups at least made, that are baffling. Well, for one, apparently matchmaking is an absolute mess. Makes sense. Um, and the graphics, even though they look better, apparently the gods are like smaller now, or the camera's like further away, so it's kind of weird. Um, Targeting is a bit of a mess. The damage calculation is a mess. Like someone said, like, oh yeah, I at one point, like the enemy, the same enemy at the same level as me, the same enemy, they cast the same ability with the same build, and at one point it does like it like one shots me as a mage, and another time it does like barely anything. So that's bugged apparently. There's items and stuff that are no longer restricted. They now give like strength or intelligence, but you're not able to see your other stats, like how much attack speed you have or how much defense you have. You can't see that anymore apparently, and you can have some crazy builds now that are not restricted, which in one case is good, but in another it's like I don't know. It just seemed they just fucked up the builds. Apparently, there's no god builder. Not all gods are in the game yet. Only a selection. Not all game modes are in there yet. There's no Assault or ARAM in there, for example, which is one of my favorites. That's not in there right now. I mean, it doesn't mean it won't come in the future, but it's right now it's not in there. And even though it's an alpha, right? It's an alpha, not even in beta. It's an alpha. They already opened up early access on Steam for the alpha, but you have to shell out $30 to, at least in my country, you have to shell out around $30 to even gain entry. It's basically a free-to-play game, but you have to shell out $30 to gain entrance. Basically, buy a Founder's Pass, basically. The equivalent of a basic Founder's Pass in order to gain access to the game, which is already like, okay, I'm paying $30 for an alpha. I don't know about that. And even though a lot of things are missing and buggy and everything, and they don't seem to be able to do a whole lot right, there's already an in-game store, of course. It's high res. What do you expect? There's already an in-game store, and what I've noticed is that people have been bringing this up a lot, each with basically the same issue. The legacy gems you get from Smite 1, they're all ported over into a percentage of your gems is ported over as legacy gems in Smite 2. Okay, fine. You cannot use the legacy gems alone to buy skins in the game. No, you have to purchase diamonds, which is the new gems, basically, the new premium currency. You have to buy that in addition to having the legacy gems. So you cannot just use the legacy gems. I thought, oh, I bought so many skins in Smite, I'm going to have the legacy. No. You can't. You have to still shell out just as much for that. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't know exactly how it works, if that's a legacy gems as a discount, or just it costs this many legacy gems and this many diamonds. I don't know exactly, but I've not read the word discount or percentage or off, or so I guess it's both. You need both to buy them now, which is just a way to get people to spend more money. Buy more cross-gen skins in Smite 1 so you get more legacy gems in Smite 2 so you can get more skins in Smite 2. That's even more money. So on top of a 30 to like $100 to gain access to Smite 2, if you want to buy anything there, you have to buy diamonds, which is, I've read somewhere that the packs are slightly cheaper to buy diamonds, but I don't know about that. I haven't actually compared it yet. I've seen the prices. I haven't compared it yet. But what I've definitely seen is that the amount of gems you get, and the amount of gems or like diamonds you get, and the amount of diamonds that the skins cost, right? Like the most expensive skins in Smite 1 are like 2,000, which is like $20, which is a lot. But the rest are like between like the cheapest ones are like 100 or 200 up to 500, 1,000, 1,500, 1,200, 1,500. I've seen the price listings for Smite 2. Like some skins are indeed like around 2,000, maybe slightly less, but usually around the 2,000. The more expensive skins, 3,800. The packs you get won't let you buy that amount. You have to get a more expensive pack of diamonds in order to purchase one of those skins. And that pack is the pack worth $50. You have to shell out $50 on diamonds to buy one for a 3,800 skin, which is nearly 4,000. And I think $50 gives you like 5,000 or 5,500 gems or something. I don't know exactly. Maybe 6,000. But even with the 6,000, you will not be able to. Am I lying about that? 6,000. Yeah, no, it's not 6,000. I think it was 5,000 or something, around 5,000 somewhere. So or maybe 4,500. I don't remember. I don't have it in front of me. But the idea is that if you shell out $50, you can only buy one 3,800 diamond skin, and have a little bit left. Probably not enough to buy any other skin, or maybe a very cheap one. You used to be able to just play, gain favor, gain worshippers. If you have enough worshippers, your god gets ranked. Your god mastery goes up by 1, and if you get to god mastery 1, you can unlock a golden skin with either favor, the currency you earn, or with gems, the currency you buy and sometimes earn. To unlock the golden variety skin for your character. And be like, okay, I have mastery 1 or higher on this god. Then if you reach god mastery 5, you get a legendary skin, which is it was golden blue for the mastery skin. For the golden skin, then for the legendary is golden black, and then for the diamond skin is usually like diamond and blue or diamond and teal, which is god mastery 10, in which you can unlock that. And you just have to play. You just have to have the god. You can play it. You can earn worshippers, and then you can just get that with either favor or gems, and that's fine. You can just earn it. Now you can no longer do that. You can earn god mastery, but you can only earn god mastery and the accompanying skins. I think they like changed it up a little bit, where you can get at one level you can get like two variations, and the last one is like radiant. You get like an onyx and some kind of a pink skin, and then something else early on. I think that was like the old like gold or legendary. I don't even remember. But you get like 4 variations. Okay, but now in order to get the mastery, right, you have to unlock like the mini battle pass for each god separately in order to master them. I don't know how much the unlock is, but just the fact that you have to unlock the god mastery now is ridiculous. I mean, so far what I've seen is that they don't have all that loot box filler in there with the music and the pedestals and the avatar, the avatar player and the player icons, and the what was it again? The pedestals and the recall animation and the ground stamp and the emote and the whatnot. All that extra nonsense that we don't need. That's not in there yet, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be in there at some point. But what this means is that is that we have to shell out. I already didn't like that we had to shell out like 200 gems per like voice pack for the god. That should just be included, but no, we have to shell out 200 for a voice pack for each god. That kind of sucked. But now you also have to shell out um, additional money for god mastery, which is also shit. So even if you didn't spend any money on Smite 1, you could still buy the gods with favor and then master them and buy the mastery skins with favor. You can't do that anymore. Now you are forced to at least spend something in order to earn or buy a skin for your character, whichever character it is. And there's going to be a lot of them. There's already over 100 gods, like way over 100 gods. And they're not stopping with releasing new gods, but only in Smite 2. And because they're only releasing gods in Smite 2 and they're only basically focusing on Smite 2, while Smite 1 is basically just buy more skins, buy more skins, buy more skins. Let's be weird and wacky with the balancing. Who cares? We don't really care anymore. Just buy more skins, buy more skins, buy more skins. Here, Smite 2 is now available in open alpha. Buy more skins, buy more skins, buy more stuff, buy more stuff, buy more stuff. That's all that Hi-Rez cares about nowadays. I mean, that's all they've cared about for a long time, but definitely nowadays they make it so blatant that they're all about the money. I'm not gonna lie, I spent a lot on Smite 1 and I enjoyed the game despite my criticisms and despite my experiences. I still enjoyed it. I still went back to it and I don't regret it. But now I'm kind of like, now Smite 2 feels like a big fuck you to the entire community because of the way they're handling it, because of they upped the prices, so the monetization got worse. They added the individual god mastery battle passes that you have to pay for. The legacy gems are worthless. They lied about that. So basically you have to spend them and buy more diamonds, which is ridiculous. You have to pay money to gain access to the open alpha. It is ridiculous. It is 100% ridiculous. I get that they want to make money, but it is ridiculous. And it really makes me think, like, I don't know if I want to play Smite 2. Maybe in the future when it's like the only thing there is, maybe I'll consider it. But as it stands, I'm just not interested. It's like, of course, it's buggy and a bad experience so far and incredibly heavily monetized. I mean, I'm thinking about returning to Smite 1, but honestly, I've honestly quit it before even like the open alpha before the alpha was open, because I realized they're not going to add any more gods or any other new like meaningful content to Smite 1. It's just going to be skins, 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 skins. And I don't want to buy all those skins, to be honest. A lot of them are FOMO as well, so like, because there's like every month there's like a battle pass. They're like, instead of stretching it out, they're allowing every month there's a smaller battle pass that you have to grind out for another skin and 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 another skin. It's like it's even if they're cross-gen skins, yeah, it's cool that you have them then, but I'm not really spending any money on Smite 1 anymore because why would I? I don't want to. Because I already have other stuff to spend money on. It's just expensive and you don't really get a lot for it. I guess you can get the skins in Smite 2 as well, which is cool, but if you don't really plan on playing Smite 2, what's the point? But I do think that Smite 1 eventually is going to die out. It's going to go away. And yeah, because why support Smite 1 if the Smite 2 is out and it's going to be the new thing? If Smite 2, once Smite 2 is in a state where they're like, okay, we're satisfied with this, we're going to release it fully, like the 1.0 version, then I'm pretty sure that they're going to close Smite 1 pretty soon after that, and Smite 2 is just going to replace Smite 1 as the thing, as their main thing, and I hope it improves over time. But as it stands, I don't think they're going to change the pricing or any of the choices they've made now. I hope they do. I hope they keep it similar to Smite 1, or maybe even better than Smite 1. But honestly, this is their perfect excuse to up the prices. Plus, someone who was a game developer basically commented like, "Hey, um, they also are also lying to us about the fact that they supposedly cannot import your favorite skins into Smite 2. It's just a simple file. You can import it. It's like he's like, I know how Unreal Engine works. You can do that. Usually, when a developer or a programmer says it's impossible, means it is possible. It's just annoying. So I don't know if this guy is right about that. I'm not a developer. I've never used Unreal Engine for anything but just playing. But if that is true, if they are like, oh, we can't port over all your favorite skins, like all the skins, it's probably just going to be time consuming, and they want people to buy new skins rather than port over all of your old skins. But I think that's a bad call, very bad call. Because apparently it is apparently it is possible. If that guy's correct, apparently it is possible. So why don't you? Because they don't want to. They want you to buy new skins, basically. That's the that's the whole point. And then you'll see, like, within new patches, like later, like when it's released, it's all of a sudden like, in this patch we're going to bring back some old favorites. Here's Furiona Bologna and like Ice Cream Ymir, and what else? I don't even know. Master Guanfu, and whatnot, and yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh, how did you get that ready so quickly? Yeah, we just imported it. Yeah, but if you do want to play Smite or check it out, I would say just play Smite 1 right now. It's not in a great state, but play it, I guess. And other than that, just I would not bother with Smite 2 right now. It has too many issues and egregious monetization as well. I would honestly not give any money to this company, especially not because it's still in alpha. You don't know what's going to happen. For all we know, if they see it's not selling well enough because of the egregious monetization and the bad press going around, especially now that it's out in the open, they might even revert back to Smite 1, where they're like, okay, we're just going to continue development on Smite 1. Or, if they're not going, if they're absolutely going to hammer down on Smite 2, which I think they will, then, like I said, I hope it improves. But right now, it's not worth the price tag of $30 for entry just for a buggy alpha that is heavily monetized. That's Smite 1 is definitely going to disappear at some point, especially when Smite 2 takes over. But there's also a possibility that Smite 2 might be closed if not enough people participate in it, and not enough, or better yet, not enough people spend a lot of money on diamonds, um, which I think is a possibility, that they have a certain expectation for Smite 2, and that expectation will not be met. I'm not sure what they're going to do then, but they have been known to shut down their games or stop development, or shut down games that don't do very well. Hand of the Gods, their card game, is one of them, for an example. I don't know about Smite Blitz. That was also a thing on mobile. It was Smite Blitz. It was shut down. Yeah, Battle on the Go. That was like a mobile game. It was very apparently that was also shut down. It was like a mobile game, very similar to, like, in concept and in uh, it almost felt like a reskin of some other game. These mobile games are very similar. It was made in China. Um, they quietly retired it a long time ago, somebody said. Somebody said I was kind of rough as far as gotchas go. Huh. Hand of the God. Yeah. The game got updates for only a month, then they stopped. And of course, people stopped playing because it was dead and they killed it. No, it was not a MOBA. It was like similar to like Raid Shadow Legends or some other game. I feel like a lot of it actually played it for a little bit just because I wanted that one Loki skin in Smite, which I did. It was interesting to see all these different gods. There were some gods that had like abilities of other gods, which was kind of interesting. And then there were other some gods that were not in. The gods had different appearances, and some other gods that were not in Smite at all, like Chi Yu and some other ones, Garuda, for example. But when I got that skin, I stopped playing, especially because the tutorial, basically the start of the game, the tutorial, it let me do a bunch of things, and then the tutorial was like, "Hey, you got to fight PvP now." I'm like, I don't want to. Yeah, you have to. I'm like, no, I'm stopping here. Fuck that. You can't force me to play PvP. Fuck you. So I didn't. I got the Loki skin and I didn't care anymore. And then a while later, I just because I seen so many ads about it, I installed Raid Shadow Legends, and I it's not sponsored by the way, and I checked it out for a moment, and I didn't really do it much because I was like I played it and I got to the menu, basically to the town, the world map, I guess, and it's like this is just like Smite Blitz. This is nearly identical to Smite Blitz. It's like, no, really. So yeah, I'm assuming that a lot of those games are very samey in what they are and what they represent. So it wasn't really worth it, and of course that also didn't gain the player numbers or the money that they wanted, so they shut that down. And there was some other like mobile only jet game or whatever that they didn't do anything with. Hand of the Gods. Tribes Ascend, I believe, is still around, but they don't. They don't. It's in a horrible state with just cheaters, and nobody plays it anymore. So I don't know why they don't just shut it down, or maybe they have. I'm not sure. But they've tried a bunch of things over the years that all flopped. There's Realm like Realm Royale, like a Paladins type. Yeah, Realm Royale. Is that still around? Let me have a look for a moment. Realm Royale. Is it still is a free-to-play game? Uh, it was relaunched and updated as Realm Royale Reforged. Why was it? Uh, some questionable development decisions meant the game declined in popularity almost as quickly as it rose. Apparently, it's still around, but it's also on Steam. Let me just very quickly. I mean, it's also like on like PlayStation and stuff and all that. But let me just quickly check the Steam charts for Realm Royale, just because I'm because I am curious. There's only the all-time peak was at the very launch was what 104,000. That was back in the early the open like beta for like in like June 2018. I mean, wow. And then it went down to like 9,000, almost 4,000, and then it was been swinging between 4,000 and 1,000, 900, 700, 600, 400, 200. Yeah, now it's like it's been sitting around 300, 200 for like a year already. There's only 300 people playing, basically 200 to 300 people playing. Horrible. Of course, it's also heavily monetized. Let's have a look at Paladins, because that's their Overwatch like hero shooter, which they also made some questionable decisions in. Paladins only 4,000 players. That's more than Realm Royale, but only 4,000 players consistently. Well, mind you, but yeah. What about Smite then? I mean, look, Smite, 6,000 players, 7,000 players, 10,000 players, 12,000. Yeah, it's a little bit more. What about Smite 2 then? Smite 2 public test. Is this just a public test server? Oh, Smite 2, here we go. Oh, I was gonna say. 6,000. About the same as Smite 1. It's not a whole lot, to be honest. More than I thought there would be, but I was gonna be the Smite 2 public test, but that was like their closed alpha. I was like, what? There's only 13 people playing, but I was looking at the wrong thing. But yeah, it's pretty atrocious. Yeah, I don't know. Smite 2 is like all the hype right now, but there's a lot of issues with it, and I don't know. If you want to enjoy Smite for a bit, just do it now while you still can. But I wouldn't spend any money on it because Smite 2 is going to go away Smite is going to go away, and unless you're planning on playing Smite 2, and I wouldn't really bother, to be honest. Progression doesn't really matter anymore. You just play for the lulz because progression doesn't really matter. It's going to go away eventually. Maybe not this year, but they're already in open alpha, so who knows how long that's going to take. But I don't know. I'm pretty dissatisfied with Hi-Rez and their decisions at this point. So I don't know. I might return to Smite for a little bit until it closes, or until I'm sick of it again, who knows. But I now know that I basically have no reason to play. The progression doesn't matter. I'm not going to buy any more skins, probably. Progression is not going to matter. So, what's the point, right? So that's basically how, for me, Smite basically died a second death. Give me another reason to not play it anymore, because it's going to get shut down eventually anyway. And, yeah, Smite 2. Right now it does not look appealing at all. Maybe when it's like in a better state, like open beta, or maybe even like the full release, who knows if it's better at that point, but I doubt it. I don't know if it's worth playing. Who knows? Yeah, that's sad, but that's how it is, unfortunately. So that's why I quit playing Smite for the second time. Because of the whole gearing up for Smite 2. And Smite 1 is now kind of a disaster, and Smite 2 is a disaster. So, yeah, somehow managed to fuck up both games. That's a talent, I guess. It's a feature. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. I should go and not play Smite 2.